Peace and blessings, family. It is yours truly, Amar Amari. I am the founder of El Kebalani Unida Alliance, and my queen Amani Amari is the co-founder. We focus on your spiritual, your physical, and your financial well-being. Hopefully, everyone had an wonderful weekend. Certainly I did. I enjoy spending time with my queen, and, she and I will take care of some of our business that we need to handle. And then we'll come together and we'll watch some movies together. We'll set the atmosphere and keep the atmosphere healthy in our family. I want to say, wassalamu alaikum to my brother, Mike O'Neill. Love you, big bro. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for your continued love and support, man. Peace and blessings be to you and the family. And I tell you, family, it's definitely been a challenging one. I'm quite sure for all of us here, with everything that's going on. So, we want to fight for the sanity of our minds. Guard your heart and mind, for out of it flows the issues of life. And one must understand that we are certainly in a battle. Okay, we are in a battle spiritually. Okay, and there's physical battles. I'm a retired Marine, and we were taught the art of war. And with the art of war, we were taught that there are specific weapons that you have to utilize in order for you to be able to cause damage to that specific weapon system. For instance, with a tank, if you take a machine gun, like, a certain machine gun, I definitely want to give you a certain name because you probably won't know what I'm talking about. But if you take a machine gun and you use that machine gun on a tank, it won't work. Okay, so you have to use an AT-4. An AT-4, you can destroy a tank, you can destroy a helicopter, you can destroy a plane with that weapon system. Okay? And so I know some of you know this saying that you don't go to a gunfight with a knife, right? Because that weapon is not going to be able to be used in that type of warfare. You'll be defeated. Okay, if you're trying to fight somebody who has a machine gun and you have a knife, that won't work out that well. So you have to be prepared to be able to fight that type of fight. Okay? Peace and blessings to my cousin Shanda Bray. Appreciate you, cousin. Love you, family. Tell my cousin Chauncey I said I love him too, and the rest of my cousins. All right, so now listen. Some people are struggling in life because they don't understand what is happening. Okay? They're trying to fight their spiritual problems with natural substances. Okay? And contrary to popular belief, spiritual warfare is real. It's not spookism. I've dealt with dark forces known as demons. Okay? And it is real. Okay? And some people are dealing with spiritual issues and they're trying to handle it with alcoholism, with drugs. They're trying to inhale their problems away. They're trying to inject their problems away. They're trying to smoke their problems away. They're trying to drink their problems away. And their problems still exist. After they come off of that high, the debts is still there. Okay, the bills are still there. Their relationship problems are still there. Their childhood issues are still there. And in fact, I don't know if some of you have experienced this. Some people are intoxicated and they still continue to talk about their problems. Who can testify to that out there? Somebody who has heard somebody that is high and drunk, and they still are talking about their issues. They tried to drink it away, but it still didn't medicate their spiritual ailment. Right? So see, there is a story in the Bible where there was a woman who had a spirit of infirmity. And the ailment that she had was a result of a spiritual issue. And so the woman went to the healer, known as Jesus, and that spirit was cast off of that woman. It was driven out of that woman. And then that woman, she became healed once the ailment of the spiritual ailment was driven away from her. Now, some people don't understand this. Some people don't understand that psychological problems actually is a result of their physical issues. Okay? And some people, because they are mentally traumatized, it affects them physically. And so the ailment that they have is a derivative from their spiritual problems. Right? So you can't drive out hate with hate. As the Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, only love can do that. You see, your problems won't go away from you running away from your problems. You have to deal with what you're dealing with. You have to find out the root cause of that. And then you have to find out the remedy for that. And then you have to implement the remedy for that in order for it to bring healing. So, some people's problem is finances, right? It's because they don't know how to manage their resources properly. So the remedy for that ailment in their life, poverty and lack, okay, in some cases it's because they don't have the knowledge, the financial savvy in order for them to implement so that it can eradicate their issue. Now, on another hand, because I believe in balance, because we're talking about spiritual and natural. So in some cases, the reason why some people are broke and that there's generational brokenness in people's life is because unfortunately they have a generational curse on them. In some cases, whether some people believe it or not, it doesn't stop it from being a reality. That in some cases, there is a curse on people that has to be broken from their life. Literally, it is literally a spiritual problem that is plaguing families. There's families who suffer from mass incarceration. Okay? There's families that there's drug addiction. There's families that there's alcoholism. There's families that there are the spirit of perversion like molestation. Okay? See, I'm a spiritual teacher. Okay? And spiritual teachers understand this. We understand what's going on in the natural realm because of what's happening in the spiritual realm. The natural is being affected by the spiritual. And see, the reason why people are still living defeated lives because spiritually they don't have the victory mentally. And so what happens is some people, they're not using the right weapon of choice. Okay, you can't knock racism out of somebody. They have to be taught out of that. It's a mindset. So if somebody is in a certain mindset, that means that they've been taught into that mindset, which means they have to be taught out of that mindset. Right? If somebody doesn't feel that they're handsome and they're attractive, let's get to the root problem of that. How is it that they ended up in that state of mind? Majority of the time, it's because somebody spoke that into their life. And then they spoke that into their life. So they subscribe to the negative view about themselves. And as the person spoke it, they began to what? Believe it and receive it. And then they in turn start speaking the very same thing into their life. And then what happened is, in that situation, it took root inside of them mentally. And now they're persuaded that they're not attractive. They're not handsome. They're not beautiful because of them being in a mental state, psychologically, that has affected them. So what one must do that's in that situation? Being that it was spoken into their life, they got to speak it out of their life. Right? So here goes positive affirmations. Now, this is the reason why it's the law of attraction. It's just the way that it is. You know what I'm saying? Life and death lies in the power of the tongue. There's people whose spirit is dead because of what has been spoken from an outward source and what's been spoken from out of their own spirit, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. So it's in them, so it's going to come out of them. Right? So if you keep speaking that, then it's going to take root in your life, and what you say is going to manifest. Okay? People that are normally poor in the natural sense are poor in the spiritual sense. Poverty, in some senses, is a state of mind. Some people are poor in spirit. That's why they're poor in the natural realm, because they don't think wealthy. Okay, now notice, I'm not saying this is a blanketed reason. Okay, I'm just saying that some people, the reason why they're in that state is because of the state of mind that they are in. Don't speak death into your life. Understand, see, death is the separation from the spirit and the flesh, right? You have to speak life. The word is spirit and the word is life. So you have to speak life into your life. You have to speak life into that situation that you feel like it is dead. Okay, it is not going to live. So you have to speak to that thing. Some people think that, oh, this is just some mumbo jumbo. Listen, I'm here to tell you right now, you know what I'm saying, that I thought my way out of poverty. I thought, as a part of the reason why I came out of poverty spiritually, it's because I learned accurate information, and the implementation of the accurate information brought transformation into my life spiritually and naturally. See, with psychological warfare, you have to fight fire with fire. You have to fight fire with fire, right? You know what I'm saying? You can't defeat a spiritual situation with natural tools. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Olodumare, Allah, Yah. It's through the Spirit. You cannot fight a spiritual battle. You got to be wise with your weapon of choice. See, some people are using these instead of this. With psychological warfare, you have to fight with your mind. You have to strengthen your mind. Okay? Because see, that's what the enemy does. The enemy, even with slavery, our ancestors outnumbered the ones who enslaved us. But because fear was instilled in them, they would never fight against our enemy because of them being psychologically brainwashed. Right? So, being that their minds were tampered with, wouldn't it be logical enough to say that the reason why we're in the state that we're in today, spiritually and physically, is due to what has happened to us mentally? So now we know the root cause of the state of the spiritual dilemma that we're in and the natural dilemma that we're in. We know then that it is a result of a mentality. Some of us, we think that marching is going to solve the problem. The problem that we face is bigger than marching. The problem that we face is bigger than boycotting. The problem that we face comes from a mindset. And unless that mindset is dealt with, the mindset, okay, in the races, then we'll continue to fight this fight because it's a mindset. Until we see ourselves as somebody, until we see ourselves as worth something, until we see ourselves as capable, okay? Until we see ourselves as kings and queens and warriors and intelligent people, beautiful and handsome and worthy. Until we take on that posture in our mindset, we'll continue to live defeated lives because in the mind of us, we feel defeated. We say we can't, so we won't. And until that mindset changes, we're going to continue to be in the state that we're in. See, in order for your life to transform, you have to be transformed in your mind. See, I don't see my skin pigmentation as a hindrance. I don't see my gender as a hindrance. I don't see my ethnicity as a hindrance. The only hindrance to us as human beings across the board, as human beings holistically, the hindrance is the mind. It's our thought process. Success is rooted in our thought process. In order for us to elevate spiritually, we have to elevate mentally. In order for us to elevate naturally, we have to elevate mentally. It's all rooted to the mind, to the psyche. Why do you say that you can't? Why do you say I never will? Why do you feel like you're not capable of doing it? Let's deal with that. Psychologically, you have been persuaded that you're defeated. See, defeat is a state of mind. Being victorious comes from a state of mind. A champion has a champion mind. See, a champion understands, a warrior spiritually understands, no weapon formed against me shall what? Prosper. Okay? See, understand this. You got to walk by faith. Faith. And not by sight. Why? Because it's not what it looks like. You understand? It's an illusion. See, we have to get broken free in our minds. Our subconscious mind has to be set free from these illusional things. See, it's an illusion. Racism is an illusion. Your skin, understand this. Your ethnicity is an illusion. It's an illusion. The only way that brainwashing can work on you is if you subscribe to the lie. Listen, a lie can only work if you believe it. If you accept it. This is the only way that something can bind you up, is if you accept it. If you accept that I can't do it because I'm African. I can't do it because I'm so-called black. I can't do it because I'm a male. I'm a so-called African male or black male or female. You know what I'm saying? I won't be able to do it because, of my situation, because, of my background. Okay, because of the neighborhood that I'm in, the zip code that I'm in. Nobody else was able to do it in my family, so what make me think that I'm able to do it? See, you're talking defeat, and you're living a defeated life because you believe the lie. You believe the hype. It's not that you're not capable of it. No, you have the ability, but you just don't believe in the ability that you have. Huh? See, you got to learn how to fight. You understand? Mentally. This is a psychological, even obtaining success is psychological. It's not going to happen overnight, family. Some of us, we got this microwave mindset about success spiritually and naturally. Okay? Evolving spiritually and naturally, okay, does not happen overnight. It doesn't. It takes work. I've never seen a farmer reap a harvest overnight. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. If you know anything about agriculture, if you know anything about nature, you don't see nothing happen overnight. You have to plant the seed. You have to water the seed. You have to cultivate the seed. Okay? That's what you have to do. And then you got to be patient and wait, okay, for it to bud, for it to grow, okay, for it to get to the point of maturity to where then you can pick the fruit. But before you're able to reap the benefits of your labor, okay, you got to be patient. Let patience have its perfect work. By patience, it will possess ye your soul. And see, what happens is, a lot of times, people, they become impatient, or it's not happening fast enough for me. Oh, this doesn't work. So you tap out. See, when you tap out, you miss out. When you tap out, you miss out. Okay? He that do it to the end shall receive the reward, right? You have to endure. Endurance means sometimes you're going to be fatigued. Look up the word. Endurance. You're gonna be fatigued. You're gonna be tired. Have you ever seen a boxer fighting in a ring? Have you ever seen a boxer fight? The boxer the boxer's tired. But the battle is not over until it's over. But if you give up, you'll never win. Have you seen how hard a track runner runs? Man, they're getting it in, boy. That other person is right alongside of them or right on their heels, but they just keep going. They keep going. They keep going. They keep going until boom, they lean in and then they win. It's all mental, family. It's mental. It is mental. Let me see what I got going on out here. It's all mental, family. It's all mental. Lafayette to my good brother, Jashir. Lafayette to my good sister, Vera. All of these things are mental, man. You know, and some of you wrestle with your weight, you wrestle with your confidence, your self-confidence. All those things are mental. It's mental. You are somebody. You got to start seeing yourself as somebody. You got to start speaking that into your life. Some people think that's so corny, but guess what? It works. Faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of Olodumare, Ifa, the word. Faith cometh by hearing, so you believe what you hear. So in order for you to believe it about yourself, you got to start speaking that into your life. This is the reason why you proclaim positive affirmations. I am prosperous. I am well. I am a light in this world. I am victorious. I am wealthy. I am whole. I am abundantly blessed spiritually. I am abundantly blessed financially. I am in good health. I am going to come out of this. Okay, no matter what it looked like, family, listen, understand me. Let me share this with you. Let me share a story with you. When I was in the military, I had got into an altercation. I got into a situation where they told me, they said, Walden, they said, prepare yourself to get kicked out of the military. Prepare yourself. Get ready to get kicked out. That's not what I heard in my spirit. I said, no, that's not, what I heard in my spirit. That's not what I seen spiritually. Well, I'm just saying, you need to get yourself prepared. It's not looking good right now. And I said to them respectfully, listen, I don't care what it looks like. I know what the spirit has spoke to me, and I'm going to hold on to the word that was spoken to me. Guess what? I'm retired. I've been retired going on 5 years. I was told, Walden, you're not going to make it. Walden, you off on your own little island. You're not going to make it. You like a mule. You buck against the system. You're not going to get far in life. Right now, I'm a serial entrepreneur in real estate, owning multiple properties. I have a beautiful queen, my queen Amani Amari. Got a brand new house last year in 2019, built in 2019 from the ground up. Had got blessed with a fairly new vehicle. Have had numerous speaking engagements, paid speaking engagements. People told me I wasn't going to make it. People lied on me. Called me all type of names. Betrayed me. But I kept fighting because I know who I am. I know my purpose in this life. Do you know who you are? I'm talking about spiritually, family. Do you know who you are? Do you know why you're here? What is your purpose in this life? Listen, people don't have to understand your purpose. You need to understand your purpose. People don't have to know who you are. You need to know who you are. Because see, when you don't know who you are, whatever they say about you, you'll believe it because you don't know who you are. See, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. It doesn't matter what people's opinion is. Okay? What opinion matters the most, family, is your opinion about yourself. Huh? That's what really matters. This thing is bigger than racism. It's bigger than that. It's more to this life than meets the eye. There's more to you than what you see in the mirror. There is greatness in every last single solitary one of us, and we have to cultivate that. We have to work on building ourselves up mentally so that way we'll be able to stand in the day of adversity. This is something we must understand. This thing is bigger than racism. Do you understand? There's people that's going through things that their parents told them that they're ugly. They've been raped. They've been molested. Huh? They've been told that they're dumb. They've been told that they're stupid. There's women that's suffering from domestic violence. This thing is bigger than racism. You having people committing suicide. They have a whole bunch of money. They're wealthy, but they commit suicide. This thing is bigger than just racism. Our families being broken. Our women raising their children by themselves. Our men being incarcerated. Oh, but this thing is bigger than racism, family. It's a spiritual force behind all this corruption that we see. And until humanity begins to deal with the fact that there's a such thing as spiritual warfare, until we tap into the fact that we're having issues internally. And this is the reason why we see the external manifestation of what's going on internally. Then we're going to continue to be in the state that we're in. Until we deal with the fact that people are hurting internally. There's people that are psychologically damaged. Their lives is not together. So riddle me this. If a person is broken in pieces, how can you expect them to come together when their life is not together? How can you expect somebody who's damaged to heal? How can you expect somebody who is incarcerated to set somebody free? How can you expect somebody who is confused to help somebody who don't know and who don't have direction? How can you expect them to help them when they're in the same state? Why is that brother so violent? Why is that brother so angry? Why is that sister so untrusting? Why is it that she don't trust a man? Why? Because what's going on in here? Why are we so violent? Why are we so quick to run to gossip? Because what's going on in here? Why are we so quick to share traumatizing information that doesn't bring healing and that doesn't transform the mental state of our people? And that's the reason why we're in a dilapidated state spiritually. It's because of what's going on here. And so we act out what's going on spiritually. Why do we reject knowledge and wisdom? What's wrong with our people? What's the problem? See, we think that learning about what country we come from is going to heal us. We think that knowing about what our ancestors have done is going to bring healing. No, it's going to give you confidence in who you are. But guess what? It still doesn't negate the fact that that man has been molested by another man. Oh yeah, we're going to get deep today. We're going to get deep today. We got to deal with this. We have to deal with this. A sister learning about her being Ashanti, being Dogon, being Zulu is not going to heal her from being raped and molested when she was a child. Huh? Is that going to heal? Is that going to heal us? Is that going to heal that sister from her father raped her, her uncle raped her, one of her aunties molested her? Is it going to help the man get healed from his mother's friend molested him? I was in the church and they molested me. Is that going to help the man who, when he was in his adolescent years, was raped? Is that going to help the man who his mama abandoned him? His females, they just kept doing him wrong. And every time he put his trust in that female, they did him wrong. And so he don't trust. He don't want to get married. He don't want to have nothing to do with a woman other than just having fun. Can we deal with it? Can we deal with it today? Can we put it on the table? Can we be honest about things? See, family, until we start dealing with the spiritual realm, until we really get to the root of the problem, we're going to go in circles. You know why there's no traction? I'm going to tell you why. Because we don't deal with the spirit. We only want to deal with the natural realm. We only want to deal with economics. We only want to deal with what's going to make us rich. Listen, a man that's poor in spirit, no matter how much wealth he or she gets, will still be poor. Obviously, money is not the answer, because people still commit suicide with money. You got a lot of brothers who are wealthy and still end up going to jail. While they're in hip hop earning all these millions of dollars, they are still going to jail. Why are these brothers still getting arrested on gun charges? Riddle me that. Why are these wealthy people that we see, because we think that money is always the answer. We think the money is the answer. No, money is the answer to all things, not all problems. Huh? Meaning that money can buy you things, but it can't buy you joy. It can't buy you peace. Just because a person has accumulated wealth doesn't mean that they may be financially well, but they are not spiritually well. They're still spiritually sick. So buying a Bentley isn't going to heal that. Buying a mansion isn't going to heal that. Why is it that the wealthy still end up on drugs? Riddle me that. Huh? Now, peace and blessings be upon her. I'm not speaking ill about her, and I'm getting ready to close. I'm not speaking ill about her. I love her very dearly. But our ancestor, Whitney Houston, she wrestled with drug addiction. More wealthy than all of us put together on here right now. Huh? Brother August Alsina was wrestling with drug addiction. Huh? Lil Wayne wrestled with syrup, codeine addiction. So if money is the answer, again, family, why are they still so miserable? It's because they're not dealing with the spirit. See, what profit if a man to gain the whole world and lose their what? Soul. This is our problem. Our problem is, family, that we're not dealing with the internal. We're too focused on what we see with our eye, and we're not focusing on our spirit. And this is the reason why you get a man who get married and he commit adultery. Can I talk about it? Huh? You get a man who get married and he still can't control himself because he got a lusting problem. Oh man. See, we want what's African. See, we just want the image of being African. We want to wear the African clothes. But one thing about us as African, we have a spiritual system called Ifa that deals with the spirit, that deals with your mind, that deals with your ego, that deal with the illusions that you see in your mind. See, we want some of it, but we don't want all of it. Eat the whole thing. There was a scripture in the Bible with the prophet Ezekiel. And he told the prophet, he said, eat the whole thing. You can't have the spiritual without the natural. You can't have the natural without the spiritual. Because the lack of either or, you're not whole. So you have to eat the whole thing. Beloved, I'm here to tell you in love, the reason why we're not getting any traction in our life is because we're not eating the whole thing. We're not dealing with the whole thing. We're only dealing with part of it. And this is the reason why us as a people that we're still so broken, we're in pieces because we haven't dealt with the whole thing. He got a porn addiction. She got a porn addiction. He got an alcohol problem. She got a drinking problem. And they're trying to deal with their pain and their sorrow. They're trying to drink it away. They're trying to snort it away. They're trying to huff it away. They're trying to sex it away. But it's not going away. You know why? Because you're not dealing with your spirit. You have broken people trying to get into a relationship and they still broken. How can a relationship be whole when both of you are broken? But we think that the only problem is racism. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. A lot of the issues we have, family, is spiritual. We have a spiritual, negative, elemental force that is dealing with us, that is messing a lot of us up. But because we call it spookism, we don't want to believe it, we don't subscribe in it, that spirit is still attaching itself to family after family after family, destroying community after community after community, destroying people after people after people on a global scale. Because man refuses to deal with the spirit. There's suffering happening on a global scale because man is not dealing with the inner man. Corruption is disseminating and spreading because man doesn't want to deal with the spiritual man. This is the reason why cigarettes is being still sold. This is the reason why toxic food is still being sold. This is the reason why there's sex trafficking. This is the reason why rape and murder and robbing and stealing and killing and adultery and broken families and racism. All this corruption is attached to spiritual problems. Spiritual. But until the man acknowledges his or her creator, until the man goes back to source of spirit, until man goes back to the one who gave him or her life, man will continue to be on a 360 revolving, corrupting, and dilapidated state until we deal with it. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit is saying to their heart. We have a bigger problem than our skin. Yes. What we're seeing is a corruption atomic bomb that has exploded and that has germinated and has intoxicated, that has corrupted the hearts of man. And it's called wickedness. It's called corruption. It's called lies. It's called deception. It's called greed. It's called lasciviousness. It's called perversion. And until humanity deals with that, humanity will destroy itself. Until humanity deals with that, humanity will continue to destroy nature, which is the protector of humanity, and humanity will still continue to see earthquakes and all type of sicknesses and diseases and ailments flow throughout this world until we turn from our wicked ways. This is not religious. This is spiritual. Let's say it again. It is not religious. It is spiritual. What we are seeing right now is a result of wickedness. Ending here. Remember to use your weapon of choice wisely. Know what weapon that you need to use to be able to war in life. You have to be able to discern when to fight physically, and you must be able to know how to war spiritually. This is a time for you to learn the power of prayer. Some people don't think that prayer works. That is their opinion. I have seen prayer change things in my own life. I have seen healings happen from praying. I have seen demonic activity removed from people's lives from praying. I have seen it with my own eyes. I've experienced it in my own life. And my life did not transform until I submitted to the will of Olodumare, the one who created, the creator of the spirit, Olodumare, Yoruba. You may say God, Yah, Allah. You may call him either one of those. But until I submitted to the will of the spirit of the one who created me, until I submitted to moral teachings, my life was in shambles. I was a drug dealer. I was a gangster. I was a part of the problem. I was in the music industry. Many people don't even know this. I was even in the music industry on a very low level, and I was pushing gangster rap. So when you hear this man talking to you, I am telling you, I've been a part of the industry and I know what it's doing. Gangster rap is a weapon of mass destruction. It is not saving the lives of the people. It is contributing to more corruption being germinated, and the lovers of money, the ones who establish these labels, okay, like Death Row, like Bad Boy, like Disturbing the Peace. Listen to all the names. Listen to all the names. Bad Boy. I'm going to say it again. Bad Boy. Disturbing the Peace. Pay attention to the names. Death Row Records. Death Row Records. Corruption. Wickedness. The love of money. Perversion. Drug addiction, alcoholism, promiscuous spirits, whorish spirits, wickedness. The African man and woman is seeing to their own destruction. The African man and the African woman, the indigenous people, are seeing to their own destruction. We have gotten on board. By establishing record labels like that, we have continued the further destruction of the African man and woman and child and family. Because even in these videos, they have homosexuality. Uh-oh. I'm going to say it again. Even in these videos, they have homosexuality. corruption. It is against the will of the Creator for a man to be with a man and a woman to be with a woman. It is against the will of the Creator for a man to be with a man and a woman to be with a woman. That is not the will of the Creator. Man's sexual organs tell us that. The woman's sexual organs tell us that. The woman's body is made to receive the seed. The man's body is made to distribute the seed. The woman's body is meant to carry the seed and to birth a child. Two people of the same sex cannot birth life. This is corruption. They're trying to make it normal, and it is wrong. It is corruption. It is the destruction of the human family, the way the Creator created family to be. It is against the will of the Creator. How do I know this? How can life reproduce from homosexuality? We're supposed to be fruitful and multiply. How can that happen with people of the same sex? They're pushing the wrong thing. Two men should not have a child together and be able to adopt a child. Two women should not be able to adopt a child together. No, they shouldn't. That is against the will of the Creator. It's destroying family. And when we get rid of this immorality, we'll start seeing a transformation in our communities. We'll start seeing transformation throughout this world when man starts to submit. I don't care what they look like on the outside. It don't matter. This is the problem. We so focused on skin, we're not thinking about what's within. I'm going to say it again. We're so focused on skin that we're not thinking about what's within. Corruption is not limited to a skin pigmentation. That has something to do with the matter of the heart. It's what you expose yourself to. If you expose yourself to that, then that's what's going to control your life is corruption and negativity. If you keep exposing yourself to that, I'm going to say it again. That's what's going to continue to rule your life is negativity and corruption. And you're going to wonder why your life is so messed up. It's because you're messing your own life up. Because you are opening the portal to these dark forces, these demonic forces. Okay, you're buying into these lies, and you are the one that's opening up the gate. You're putting out a spiritual welcoming doormat to these negative forces that's coming into your life and destroying you. And this is what's happening on a global scale. This is not limited to somebody's skin. We're talking about what's within. We're talking about spiritual forces that influences the heart and the minds of man, and that uses their hosts to do their wicked deeds here in the earth. Wake up spiritually, knowing what you're fighting against. Know what you're fighting against. Know what you're fighting against. Use the proper weapon of choice. Because I'm telling y'all right now, it's on. Spiritually, it's on. And this is just a message to wake you up so you can know how to maneuver in this wicked time that we're in right now. Learn, study, research, fast, pray. Isolate your mind from these corrupt things. Pick up some spiritual literature like this. Ahiro Lofi song. Spiritual prayers, family prayers. Start separating yourself from these corrupt things. Disconnect yourself from the corruption in the world. Disconnect yourself from negative energy. Unplug yourself so it won't have any power. Remember, when you unplug something, it don't have any power. Peace.